Okay, so let's see. We are live. Hello, Fit Pros. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Please introduce yourself. Say hello in the comments as you walk in. I am Kelly Coulter. I am here with Ann Gilbert, and we are doing the Fit Pros show today, August, what's today, the 13th?
13th.
Can you believe it? Oh my gosh. So welcome to the Fit Pro Show. This is the interactive show that was created to connect Fit Pros to information, resources, and each other. During this month, we are doing a takeover from SCW Fitness Education, where I am interviewing faculty and staff from SCW Fitness, and that will culminate in Dallas Mania, which starts, the Mania part of it starts on the 21st, and there are a few days of certifications before that, and you can get information about that at scwfit.com/Dallas. And today I'm interviewing Ann Gilbert. Ann, hello.
Hello. Thanks for having me.
Oh, thank you.
Glad to be here.
We've already been having so much fun in the pre-show. We've just been over here giggling and talking. And then I think we might even be coming on a minute late because I was like, oh, well, I think it's time to go on now.
We were chit-chatting, that's for sure. Towards the end of the week, right? Towards the end of the week.
Oh, gosh, it's been a long one. It's been a big one.
You've had a great group of professionals. I've been very excited to watch all of the casts.
So much fun. It has been awesome. And then next week we've got Christine Conti and we've got Dane Robinson. Is it Robinson or Robinson?
Robinson, I think. Yeah, sure.
Thank you. Ann, will you just start off by telling us a little bit about yourself? I know that you have a lot of experience and expertise in water and that you're a franchise owner and a businesswoman.
Mm-hmm.
Will you tell us more?
So I knew you were going to ask this question, and I thought, does she want me to go back like 38 years? Or does she want me to talk about today? Do you know, it's kind of funny, but if you ask how I got into the fitness business, the story is just fascinating. And I'd love to just go through it really quickly with you. Are you good with that?
I would love that.
Are you guys good with that? Okay. So I got into the business, and I lived in South Bend, Indiana, out in the boonies outside of South Bend near the University of Notre Dame. And I had been an active cheerleader and athlete my entire life, and I got married out of college, graduated from Purdue University, very, very proud of that. And I decided to go into a career in art. That was my major, graphic design.
Mine was as well.
Was it? Design kitchens?
No,
and I got pregnant.
I graduated. Well, it was graphic design at first, but sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt your story.
No.
But you used to have to glue all that stuff together.
I know. It changed overnight, didn't it?
What's that?
Yeah.
Yes, it sure
changed overnight. It went all to the computer. But during that time, I had 3 babies in a row. And I became a bigger woman between each of the pregnancies. And if there's anyone out there that can relate, I feel for you. My husband had a wonderful job, but he traveled away from our teeny little home. And I was totally by myself with 3 children in cloth diapers. Cloth diapers. Did you hear me? No Pampers, cloth diapers.
I remember them.
You do not. You don't remember that much.
Oh, I have a little sister that is 13 years younger than me, and we tried doing cloth diapers with her.
It was a crazy time. But by the time he got home, Kelly, on Fridays, I could not wait to see an adult. I had spent like 5 days straight with children. So I wandered into this little tiny 4,000 square foot boutique for women only. Mm-hmm. Hang on to that, right? That was 38 years ago. And it was a place called Shape Up. And it was a tiny little boutique, pink shag carpet with like a little circuit of equipment around the edge. And I went every Friday because when my husband came home, I was out the door, right? He was changing the diapers. I went religiously Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And they said, do you want to work here? I know someone else on this podcast has had that experience, but they said, do you want to work there? So I got my first job in fitness. Mm-hmm. It was a group of about 5 or 6 women that were like me. They had like goals. They had like concerns, and they wanted the camaraderie of a small group. Get it? I think it was like the first boutique, the first small group in the industry's history. I did my first class. And mind you, I was about 235 pounds, which is, I'm a small girl, so that was a lot for me. Which was one of the reasons I went looking for that place that I felt comfortable and I had self-esteem and other women around me. So we put this record, Get It record, on a record player. And Jane Fonda,
which is way back in style now. People love the vinyl these days.
I know, right? And I laid on top of a table, a folding table, many, 85 pounds more than I weigh right now. And we just did what Jane Fonda did. It was our first ever aerobics class in the first ever women's only boutique. Isn't that a fun story?
I love
It just kind of grew from there. I had a franchise in South Bend that was called Just Aerobics, where we literally rented a little warehouse. Get it? This was a long time ago. Put a little indoor, outdoor carpeting on, charged about $7 a head to take a 1 hour aerobic class. We had about 75 people. So we were
there was the race to the bottom when it comes to prices. Because
I know.
Now these days, you can't even.
We really boomed when we put in the big amenity childcare. So when childcare, but I would, I went into the big boxes then, became a personal trainer. Kelly, my husband came home on a Thursday and said, we're moving to Tampa on a Monday. So by then, those children were in high school. So I ripped my kids out of their high school. And that was a big, huge thing. And we moved to Tampa. And in Tampa, I knew nobody. So I knew I had to get involved in something very quickly. So I just looked around at all the different facilities and I wandered into this place called Shapes. Get it? Another Shapes.
Yeah.
Fitness for women. And they still had the pink shag carpet, no aerobic classes, and no personal training. And I had built a business in training in the South Bend area. And I found that women were in such need of coaching. So that was about 1998. And between 1998 and the year 2000, just in 2 years, we built a huge $1 million personal training business that was peppered across 13 women's only clubs in Tampa. So IHRSA came down with ACE as their partner, and they said, we got to take a bird's eye look at this facility because they're doing weird things. They're doing something called small group training. This was in 2000. And their trainers are actually coaching people on not only weight loss, but marathon and race walking. Mm-hmm. And how to change physiques for contests. And they had church Bible study groups. They had a card club. They had a book club. All these little places and opportunities for women to bond together, if you will. And we monetized it. So we had a personal training department that was filled and peppered with these small groups. And IHRSA and ACE said, what is going on here? And they awarded us the ACE and IHRSA Trainer of the Year award that year because of the introduction of small group. So that was how I kind of got in the industry.
That is fascinating. You have a lot to contribute in this current environment. Because that's exactly the advantage of going online right now is that kind of specialized small group training with the personal connection.
I agree. It's like what I've told you is like a set of different headshots I've had on in my life already. If I got to tell you though, until we get to what's going on right now, my company closed. On one day they came up and they said, we're no longer a corporation. We're closing all the clubs. They reopened an hour later as a franchise entity. And my husband and I popped up and bought a couple of franchises. Guess what? I said I was an art major, Kelly. I knew nothing. I still know very little about business. I jumped in thinking that a big smile and a high energy aerobics class was going to make me a successful business person. Mm-hmm. I had never managed anybody but myself. I didn't know how to lead a team, build a team, hire a team. Mm-hmm. So I feel like people in the pandemic right now that are just struggling and climbing out of a hole. That's the way I felt when I bought my businesses. So we've had great years, bad years, up and down years. But the women's only model, even though it's a niche and we're still only really marketing to 50% of the population, right? So we have a limited access to sell to. I believe in it. It's a strong, powerful unit. And since we've been open, we are seeing almost 48 to 50% of our members coming back, which is a big percentage. And
I think that's the biggest that I've heard so far.
Yeah, I think it has to do with that camaraderie. Doesn't mean we're
I'm
making
hearing
money.
like 15 to 25% in a lot of places.
So I think well, we're not all in the club though.
Mm-hmm.
We're still, our members are still connected to us. So I own 2 Shapes Fitness for Women's now. So it's come a full circle.
Wow. Beautiful story. I love, first of all, art majors.
I know, right?
So I ended up graduating in studio art because I would always mess up the gluing things on the paper. And I used to get my nails done and I would always get the nail polish on. Anyways, I was a terrible graphic designer. So I graduated in studio art and then I went straight into website design. And of course, the whole time I'd always been a fitness instructor. So I've got a web marketing agency that has been my bread and butter for however long. And then I have always done fitness classes. And when COVID happened, I started the Fit Pro Show because I knew that people needed to be able to go online, and I knew how to tell them to do it. So,
and you're using all your creative juices, whether you're studying. Yeah, you're using everything creative. We both are.
Yeah,
keep going. And
so much fun.
Because we're doing this pivot dance. Are you doing a pivot dance? Like each day you're pivoting into another direction? Yeah. I call it dance. Yeah, the pivot dance.
For sure. And what you said about becoming a business owner, it's so true. And that is the pivot that everybody's having to make right now. I talk a lot with my boot camp and with my accelerator participants about the fact that they've been gym employees all this time. You know, they went in, they taught their class, they got to be like kind of the rock star and have fun and yell, and people did what they said what they were telling them to do. And then they walked up to the desk and they got a check, right? And now they have to figure out how to write up an offer and put it out there and invite people to it and then let people pay them. We have so many people that are so uncomfortable taking the money from their participants that they are still teaching for free.
Yeah, I think that's the number one problem that I'm seeing that my instructors and coaches are doing is asking for money.
Yeah.
Selling their worth rather than designing or defining their worth on the number of people in their class.
Mm-hmm.
They've defined that. Oh my gosh, that's my phone. I can't believe I did that to you.
Yeah, but that's so true. That people before that was the only number that you had to measure on because you weren't get paid any different. So it was I'm the best instructor because I have 50 people in class or I have 60 people in class. And now it doesn't matter. It just matters that you're replacing that income that you're not able to make at the gym right now.
Well, exactly. And as a business owner, our KPIs, our key performance indicators are so much more than how many people were in class.
Mm-hmm.
But and I still teach classes, and that number of engaging members is still very, very important. But now we're needing to engage with them, not only in the studio. We're open. This is my club right here, Cal. See it?
I love it.
Club. Yeah, so we're open. Doesn't necessarily mean we're making money.
Mm-hmm.
We are flipping, and you called it pivoting. We're pivoting to see what we can do. Popular for us is outdoor. Are you guys feeling that?
Yes.
Yeah, people are safe. They can social distance. They don't feel as though they're going to have anybody breathing on them, right? But like you said, people are afraid to ask for money. They're trying to do it for free. I think a great leader. I think we need a leader in there. I'm sorry. I'm so excited to be here.
Please.
I think these people need a leader in their path. Mm-hmm. Someone that's not afraid, almost like a sales director. Someone that's not afraid to say, you are worth this much money. This is what you need to ask for, and stand your ground and don't back away.
So true, because that's one of the biggest questions that I hear is about pricing. And then when I say, well, this is how you structure your pricing, or without giving them a number, they're like, no, tell me a number. And I'm like, I can't tell you a number because it's different per region of the country. It's different, but they really want that number, and they want somebody to kind of not be responsible for that number, but to be the one that came up with it so that they don't have to feel like I came up with this number and I'm giving it to you, but maybe.
But that's why they're looking to you and other professionals at your level to help at this point. That's why they're going to SCW Manias and they're listening to what you have to say.
Yeah.
We started by just asking for donations when the club was closed. members were not paying a regular membership fee or their member dues. So we had shut their dues down, of course. So we felt as though it was appropriate to ask for donations. And then we literally charted every single donation that was given to us so we could see what the going rates were.
Okay.
That makes sense? So people seem to pay, this is odd, it just may be Tampa, but people seem to pay more for 5:30 in the morning for us. They donated more. Did because they could leave the kids in the house. Daddy was still at home, or Daddy was getting ready to work from home. So they felt it was a very valuable time. And in Florida, it's not hot. So it was like all of a sudden prime time went from 5:30 at night when the club was opened to 5:30 in the morning. And it's maintained its most popular prime time in both of our locations.
Interesting. You know, you said something a minute ago too that I had discussed with somebody else a few days ago. I don't think it was on the show, but it's going to be really interesting to see what happens in the winter when things are cold and we can't do outside, but we're not supposed to be inside anymore. I think people are going to come up with some really creative ways to kind of incorporate the cold weather with the outdoor workouts.
And you're right. Some of the team from SCW on a call the other day said, Anna, you're the lucky one. Right now it's too hot in Tampa with 105 and 110 degree heat index in the afternoon. So the morning's popular. But October, November, December, when the rest of the world is struggling with that seasonal change, that's our prime time. And we're now looking for more spots. We're looking at local breweries that have outdoor seating, but yet the seating is not filled until 5:30 in the afternoon to give us those spots. We're out there on the hunt to look for extensions of Shapes Fitness for women so that those people that continue to want to be outside. And yes, it's a seasonal thing and it's an advantage of ours in Florida for sure.
You know what's cool about, you said you're looking for different locations to do outside, is that I've noticed that the people that, the instructors that are going outside and going to different locations, it's almost like the food truck model, like put it on Facebook, we're going to be here. And then you go there, but then you're also exposed to this entirely different audience. And then they can come back to you as well. You know what I mean? You're out at a brewery. They may not have known about you, the people who are associated with the brewery, the people who are coming to the brewery. So you bring your crowd to them, and then some of them become your crowd as well.
Exactly. And make sure when you go to those places and you find that vendor that will allow you to go in, that you tell them all the different types of classes you can do. You're not just there to do a boot camp. You got to get away from that now, because not everybody wants boot camp. You know, we think they do, but they don't. They want Tai Chi. They want stretching. They want yoga. They want standing core and all those things. Most of the instructors out there that are really interested in growing, they know how to do that stuff. They know how to do it. If not, they should be at Mania, right? Learning how to do it.
Absolutely.
But pepper your worth in more than just one opportunity here. You look at, and I know you do, but I look at this pandemic. I'm not a victim. I'm an opportunist. And that's what we've got to instill in those instructors that are nervous about making this jump to virtual. I don't think it's going to be the win-win. When the clubs reopen, and again, we're opening slowly, and slowly each week we're adding more things, more hours, more classes, more opportunities for the members that are in. The instructors that have taken time to educate themselves while we've been at home are just so much more self-confident and delivering a much better experience. So bravo to everybody that's been doing certs and workshops, don't you think?
Amen. Amen. So true. I think it's one of the ways that a lot of people have jumped in and made it part of their self-care. You know, they aren't teaching what they used to. They may not be teaching online, or they may not be making any money teaching online because they don't know how to make that ask for the money, but they're educating themselves. And yes, they're coming out stronger.
Yeah, they are. They definitely are. I hope you're not going to ask me what I'm doing for self-care, because I have a really weird one. I have a
okay, so let's do that. So there are 5 questions. As you know, we've covered number 1. How did you get started in the industry? Great story. I loved it.
Thank you.
Then let's go to 3 and we'll go back to 2. So tell us about your self-care.
Well, you know, when I first started talking about self-care to our members, we would go on a Zoom call to all of our members and invite them to a Zoom, and we talk about self-care in stretching, massage and facials and blah, 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 blah. what I did was I went out and started to collaborate, to get away from the stress of the business and start to collaborate with people like yourself, other professionals. And I made a point of every Friday afternoon to meet with somebody else that was a small business owner. And I started with fitness. It's branched off since then. So my self-care was moving away from the business, not looking at the numbers for a day, removing myself. And I don't mean like locking up your social media, but I mean literally speaking to someone else that's in a similar situation and collaborating. And I think that's a huge word, collaborating with them on things and strategies that we can borrow from each other when we reopen. So I think putting my strategies together and collaborating with other professionals on a weekly basis has been my own self-care. Plus I got a puppy.
Oh, amazing. Okay, so collaborating with others and just making
My
a
phone
connection
again. I'm
with
so
others.
sorry. I don't know what's going on with it.
But so I'll tell you, while we're talking and while you're doing that, I'm
Gonna throw my
aside
phone out
here.
there.
I'm noticing that the show is showing up on the Fit Pros Connect page, but not in the Fit Pros Connect group. And I'm wondering what that's all about. So I'm going to share it into the Fit Pros Connect group right now. But so you said that you're collaborating with others and that you are just making sure that you're making that connection. And then also I heard getting a puppy. A lot of people got a puppy as part of their COVID self-care. I love it.
You know, and I apologize for my phone. I don't know what's going on, but I'm in the club setting, so there are some noises going on. I apologize.
It's happened to me before during the show.
Yeah. Kelly, this was the first time in 6 years since I owned my clubs that my husband and I have been on the same schedule. We've been married 45 years, and for the last 6 years, he worked at night at the clubs, and I worked during the day. So all of a sudden, when we were at home, it was like a new relationship, you know, and we discovered.
Okay, did you find that you liked each other?
Yeah, we loved each other, but we loved our dogs more. And we had a routine of this dog went to bed at this time and this dog went to bed at that time. And our breeder called us and said, we have the dog you've been looking for. We already have 3 dogs. So we were like, are we crazy? But we knew we weren't going to travel. We knew we weren't going to be able to see our kids in different areas of the United States. So we did get the puppy. It's a long hair mini dachshund. We have 4 doxies. Yes, we have a doxie problem.
Okay, will you put a picture in the group after our interview?
I will, for sure.
Will love it.
Yeah. But, you know, it's different. My husband and I had been on different schedules. We really realized that we weren't spending time on growing old together. We're 66 years old. We had not set our plans for the next chapter, the next headshot. Do you know what's going to be the next Ann Gilbert when the clubs are passed on to somebody else? I want to make them successful enough to do that. But we've also had a lot of together time in our family. I'm sure other people have had the same, right?
Mm-hmm. I have teenagers, so I have not had the same experience. I've had a lot of closed doors.
Oh, okay. Leave me alone, Mom. So, yeah. No.
Yes, no, but we went to Florida and spent some time together, and yes, definitely. I'm very lucky because my sister has a beach house down there, so we were able to still go, even though we got stopped on the way into Florida.
Mm-hmm. They wanted you to quarantine, or they wanted to know where you came from?
So, and this is a complete aside again, y'all. I'm sorry, but I know that you guys saw me broadcasting the show from Florida. When the quarantines first started happening, she was not able to rent this house out that she owns, and it's right on the beach. It's beautiful, gorgeous house. And so my daughter and I went and stayed for 2.5 weeks. Then we went home, and then we went back, and I had to go to Alabama because that's where my son's at college. And then we went to Mississippi, and then we came back to Florida through Mississippi. And that's where we got stopped. That second time coming into Florida, we got stopped and asked the questions, but they did not make us quarantine. Only if you had been to New York, Louisiana, or
Arizona, maybe. Yeah.
I forget.
One of the other red zones.
Yeah. This was at the beginning of June. Mm. Okay. So that self-care, I loved that. And that I love hearing the answers because they're different for everyone. And we're getting some really different answers from the presenters and the faculty members that we're interviewing. We're getting different ones than we've even heard in the group. So that was cool.
Are most of the people saying their self-care is some type of new exercise?
I'm hearing reading, I'm hearing education, I'm hearing maybe a little bit of exercise, a lot of meditation, yoga, prayer. Well, there's a poll in the group. We'll have to go back and look.
I think as a business owner, we're always wondering if we're doing it right. Or if someone else if you have a better strategy, Kelly, share it with me. And I think that's why I've enjoyed that networking. I've never really had the time to network with the other small business owners, by the way, all owned small fitness businesses owned by women, which was kind of fun. But it's been a really rewarding time. And it's also built my self-esteem in getting through the pandemic,
And you should start a Facebook group for small fitness center owners that are women. I bet you would have so much
fun. Would you help me with it?
Absolutely.
Would you help me set it up? Okay,
absolutely. It's easy stuff. Okay, so tell me what your favorite thing is about your career in fitness.
I was thinking about that question because I wanted to be totally prepared and not go on often in ramps like I'm doing right now. But I think it's because I've been able to do so many different jobs. So many different jobs, from a weight loss survivor, which I can really relate to my members who are now in that situation where they're really worrying about their wellness and their health, and they have a problem with their immune system. I've been that person. I've been an aerobic competitor. I've been the personal trainer. I've been the one-on-one in the small group, the innovator, the club owner, good and bad, right? And now preparing for the next chapter after owning the club. I think a lot of people move out of fitness because the one particular part of fitness might not have been the right fit. And if you think about, I am lucky enough, and I don't know about the other presenters, but I am lucky enough to say I am a true hybrid. I have not been successful in every aspect or every headshot that I've worn, but I've been able to move on, and I've been able to stay healthy and fit, inspire my family. But I've had so many different spots in fitness or positions in fitness. My favorite one now is building teams. That's my favorite one now, is building teams. I still worry about if the bills are going to be paid and if we're going to sell enough, and should I discount or shouldn't I discount, and how do I charge? But right now, building teams and building that self-esteem in women that they can inspire and empower another woman is truly my favorite part of my job.
I love that. Beautiful.
Yeah, good. When we closed the doors, I thought it was done. It was March 20th in Tampa, March 20th. It was a Friday, and I was actually collaborating with another small women's gym owner. And the governor said, you close right now at 5:00. And we looked at each other like, panic, call the staff. I didn't realize that there was still somebody back in the sauna that I had forgotten about. So we got ready to close up and start calling the staff and making our plans for panic. At that time, it was panic.
Mm-hmm.
And this lady comes out of the sauna, and she fell to her knees, and she goes, do you mind if I say a prayer for your club?
Oh.
And I was like, I was so taken back. And she literally prayed for the club. She prayed for the club's survival. She prayed for the club's team, because she said, this is my family. And then she left, and I looked at my daughter who was there and that other club owner, and I said, we are going to work from this day on to make sure that our members stay engaged while we are closed. And I can't do it alone. I've got to build a task force. So I literally pulled people aside and said, are you ready to be on the task force team? Because if you have a crisis, the regular management team might not be the right people. It takes a task force. So that was the moment when that lady prayed that we put our big team together that has now created strategies that people are borrowing all over the world for reopening their clubs. So it's been a proud movement, but I think building the team now is my favorite part of my career.
Oh, beautiful. What a great story. Oh my goodness.
Kind of full of stories, aren't I? Sorry.
Oh, so useful and so good. And I might be asking you a little bit about your specific strategies in a minute, but let's go to number 5. Did we get all of them? No, this might. Okay.
Uh-oh.
No,
Okay,
this
You're going to
This might just
sit
be
on my
where you
chair.
tell us about some of your strategies. The biggest opportunity for the fitness industry and for fitness professionals right now.
For my demographic, Kelly, if I can like narrow that question down a little bit.
Please.
Now that we have gotten boomers involved with technology, at first we didn't, remember? But now that we've made our boomers Zoomers, there is such an opportunity to reach out with the specific programming that we have designed for the active ager. I think that a huge opportunity for experts to rise up and give more functional coaching opportunities than ever before. And it doesn't mean that there's a big group of home equipment involved, but when you go virtual, there's a chair, there's a tube, there's a can. Mm-hmm. If you're in the club, look at this virtual unit behind me. But I think that because we're getting more and more active agers involved in knowing how to use their social media, which they were totally ignoring before when they were just coming and going from the clubs, we have a huge opportunity for the active aging population to personal train, to put them into small groups, and to keep them empowered in virtual. I think it's a huge opportunity. So I don't think there's as much opportunity in throwing people down for burpees. I'm kind of like banning the burpees, if you will, and it doesn't have anything to do with my age. I can burpee up a good one if I had to. But if you really were being visionary and you're looking at May 2021 and May 2022, if you're really a visionary looking down the road, functional fitness is here to stay. And now the active agers want it more than ever because they're focused on the wellness in their life, not the scale.
Amen.
So they're throwing the scale out. They're saying, what do I do to become a stronger person if something like this ever happens again? I don't want to stay isolated. I want out. Teach me how to have a better immune system. Teach me how to be connected socially with other people the same age group. I think the opportunity is greatest for the active agers. Mm-hmm. And it's not so hard. You just have to pick up your phone, if you can learn to turn it on and off, right? And teach them with some type of personal tutorial on how to get connected. I think that's the biggest opportunity.
You know, I just want to say that is so exactly true. I don't see the active agers going back to the gym. So I see that the biggest opportunity is for us to serve them in the way they want to be served. And that is virtually. And you have to combine that with a huge amount of human connection, because that is what we all need. That's what we are needing. And that's what our clients and participants are needing.
I think I found that personally, turning my focus to the active aging. And I'd love to say that at 66, I'm keeping up with the 20-year-olds, but a little bit of education in that demographic goes so far. They want to know what's going on in their body. They want to know how to fight aging. They want the active aging, anti-aging solution. They want what's right for them. And when you call it an anti-aging solution and a new health and wellness focus, and you move them away from the scale and thinking it's always about body composition change at their age. Yesterday, I had a group of 5 in my support group. They come in, and they are coming into the club at social distanced with masks. We do a little nutrition social hour where we talk about supporting each other. I said, where do you want to be 5 years from now? These were all gals over the age of 55. There wasn't any one of them that said, I want to weigh 10 pounds less. Not one. They want to move pain-free. They want to move pain-free. They want less pain, less stiffness, and they want to keep up with their grandchildren and their great-grandchildren. This is where the opportunity is to make sure that you are giving them the tools from home right now, but they also want to know that you're going to be there to support if they ever get back to the club, or when I believe they are going to come back to the club. So when they get back to the club, that your programming is appropriate for them, appropriate for them. And you have to teach them now. You need to become the expert in personally training the active ager in functional movement. Because if I hire you, Kelly, when I'm 75, it's because I don't want to be in pain and I don't want to be stiff. I don't really care what I look like.
So good. So good. And so true. We've talked about that. A few of the different guests that I've had on recently have talked about That somehow we tend to get stuck on the weight loss piece. We tend to think that people care about what they weigh, and they do, but not in the way that we think. They're not in exercise class because of what they weigh. They're just not. Oh my goodness. Okay. So number 5.
Number 5.
What is one thing that you do know now that you wish you would have known starting out?
Profit and loss, P&L statements,
Ooh.
KPIs, whether you're an individual pivoting, as we've talked about all day, pivoting into a new adventure or a new business adventure for yourself, or whether you are an owner, don't ever stop learning about business. And if you don't have the skill set, I know a lot, Kelly, about muscles, and I know a lot about calories, and I know a little teeny bit about business. So what I know now, I wish I had known then, because like I said earlier, I thought my business would thrive on a smile and energy, and it's not so. And if you don't know business, keep learning. So what I thought I knew in business a couple of years ago has totally changed. Now I'm going to jump back in and learn more and more and go back to school, even at 66, so that my business is something that's sellable when I want to retire, and that something is attractive for my team to stay with for a long time. So what I know now that I didn't know then is more about business, and not to be fearful of it. Love the numbers, Kelly. Love the numbers.
It's something that I struggle with every day as well. I have to look at that. You have to kind of force yourself to look at them and block time out for it. If you're a business owner, that's what I have to do in order to make myself look at them, because you and I are both art majors. We didn't want to look at numbers. That's why we did art.
And we both feel it's working more in the business instead of on the business is going to make it successful. You work on your business daily.
Mm-hmm.
Even if you're trying to
talking about
classes.
that.
Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't mean to talk.
No, I know, but it's a reused quote from a lot of us. Again, we thought a bigger class, more energy, louder music, all of those things would bring people in. And it's really, really knowing exactly from day to day where every penny is, where every penny's going. Know the numbers. And if you don't, keep studying them every day.
Oh my goodness. Can I get you to call me every Monday and tell me?
Yeah, right.
That's the day that I've blocked out for my planning, but man, I don't do it like I should. And you are 100% correct about that.
And if our numbers would pop up on our phone every day and say, this is where you are, we have to still dig for a lot of our numbers when you're a business.
Hold on. I bet there's an app.
I think, right? Will you teach me where to find it? And so when I'm on a call, it will start ringing in. But I just, I want to make those numbers easy access. And don't forget to share them with your team. Your team wants to know where you stand. Your partners want to know where you stand. And I've gone through stages when I thought, oh, well, let's hide the numbers. They're going to get afraid. They're going to be fearful. Salespeople and business people love numbers. And that's I know now that I didn't know before.
Beautiful, beautiful. Really good stuff. Okay, tell us, you've talked a lot about business, but you are teaching some business stuff for Dallas?
Yeah.
Okay, so tell us what you'll be teaching at SCW Dallas this year.
Yeah, and at Dallas, I'm teaching team building, and I'm also teaching the virtual connection for reopening clubs. In other words, strategies that have worked for us already that you guys can learn from. And guess what? They're not all great strategies either. So there's some fail strategies, and then how to be visionary for the next year ahead. I still teach in the active aging track, Kelly.
Okay.
A popular class called Aging Fit, which is good old music from the 60s in high-low impact format. And I'm teaching a new program for the active agers guys called Aging HIT. Now, if you're a business owner or an instructor or trainer, it works both ways. You're going to need Aging HIT when your club reopens, because if you're reading the research, that's what's going to pump my immune system faster than any other aspect of fitness if I'm an active ager. So I think the business and my exercise tracks will work together. I still am aquatics freak. My club has a huge aquatics environment, which is opened very successfully, by the way, with social distancing. We have cute little stickers on the tile around so everyone knows where to line up. And everyone's by reservation only, limited amount of people in the pool. But teaching aquatics during the pandemic or when your club opens is different than it was before. There's less splashing, there's less moving, and there's more about strength training. So I am teaching Luscious Limbs again, which has been a real popular program for
I
aquatics.
love the name.
I know, right? Sexy little Luscious Limbs. It's about bringing the personal training program into your pool. You're going to have limited spaces in your aquatic environment. And I know the secrets to monetizing small group programming in the aquatic environment. And guess what? The water ladies, as we used to say, I'm in women's only, right? Or the water participants are wanting to be stronger. They want their immune system to be boosted. So personal training in the pool is going to be hot in the next year. Luscious Limbs. I know you won't forget that name.
No, I sure won't. And boy, I love that you are a wealth. This has been fascinating. I just
I
think
don't know if I'm a wealth, but I talk a lot, right? Sorry.
no, I think you've got such innovative things to say and such innovative ideas and experience implementing them. I'm really just really impressed with so much that you have said. Thank you so much for being here.
Oh, you're welcome. I think when people say to a business owner right now, how do you do all you do? Don't you hear people say that? How do you do all that? How do you get all that done in a day? You've got to. You've got to be able to, we've called it pivoting all day, but you've got to be able to turn on a dime. Mm-hmm. And if it fails, stop feeling sorry for yourself and move in another direction quickly. So get out there and network, get on TV, rebrand yourself. Mm-hmm. This is a great opportunity to rebrand yourself and get yourself known. Become the expert, not the cutest trainer, not the leanest trainer, not the strongest, but be seen as the expert in your community. And then people will seek you out. Mm-hmm.
So good. So we do have people watching live, and y'all, I want to say, if you have got questions for Ann, please put them up because I know she has covered so much and it's been so interesting. I'm looking right now at, when you see me looking over here, it's because I'm looking at the feed.
Right.
So I'm looking at the Fit Pros Connect page feed, and now I'm looking at the Fit Pros Connect group because they're two different things. And I can't seem to find our interview on the Fit Pros Connect group, but I know I've got people watching. So y'all throw them in here though, because they will show up for me. I'm using a new tool called StreamYard.
Okay.
And so I'm able to broadcast to 3 different places at once. And then all of the comments will come in and show to me. So please ask your questions.
Kelly, one thing I've done for self-care, I forgot to tell you.
Yes.
I've gotten addicted to webinars in the afternoon. You know how people used to take naps and used to say, it's non-negotiable. I will have a nap every day. It's kind of like, it's non-negotiable for my self-help. I am going to learn from the experts out there because, boy, there's some smart people right now that we can see in the afternoons, aren't there?
Oh, my gosh.
Thank you for having me.
So good. Thank you so much for being here, Ann. So I think that covers it. I'm going to, what's that?
Is it time to go?
I think so. What do you have final thoughts for us? I put you on the spot there. See, I didn't let you prepare for that one.
Yeah. Think beyond the brand that you had when we were opened in January and February. It's hard, doesn't it? And I think I've been coaching a couple teachers that think it's going to be the same when the doors open up. It's not going to be the same, guys. It's not bad. It's not bad, but it's not the same. Mm-hmm. So you're going to have, what we say, 35 to 45% of your members back. If you're lucky, if you've engaged with them all along, they'd have to have been engaged all along. So those 35, you have to retain. You have to retain them because they are your word of mouth. They are your best testimonial for the 70% that are not back in the club yet. If they trust their friends, they'll come back faster. So make sure you retain that first group that comes back to your club. It's huge. And then don't be afraid to rebrand yourself, because the brand you had in January and February may be obsolete. Don't be afraid of it. It's
Oh, so good. Opportunity. You're 100% correct. And
thank you. Thank you for having me. Call me again.
Oh,
sorry about my phone. And I'm in the
girlfriend, I think you and I you might be my new forced best friend, because I might be calling you every week just wanting to hear everything you have to say.
Gosh, I've just stole it from all the experts out there. Just reuse it. You don't have to create the wheel. We're doing this together. We are one industry doing this together. Right, everybody?
That is so true. I say this all the time, and I haven't been saying it through COVID for some reason, but I used to say it so much. Good artists create, great artists steal. Take the ideas, use them, make them your own.
That's why we go to Mania, is to share ideas, guys.
Yeah.
So, and it's a reasonably priced opportunity to just expand and grow quickly. Yeah.
I think she just extended the discount. It was supposed to end on the 10th, and I think she extended it, so it's still $159.
We had a lot of instructors that went to Florida for the first live stream, and they're going back now to Dallas, because every single time there's been new opportunities to see new professionals, hear from new professionals, and there's been all new presentations. It's amazing. Amazing.
Well, see, I didn't present at Florida, and I will be at Dallas, so I'm doing the challenge and the payoff on Friday morning for SCW Dallas, and that will be specifically about what I have done to build up the group and then teach to them, and how I have made that into the free boot camp that I do and the accelerator that I do, which is a 6-month program helping instructors and personal trainers become entrepreneurs. So yes. Okay. So y'all, that boot camp that I just mentioned, I am registering for it now. You can go to fitprosconnect.com/bootcamp and register. It is free, and it starts the week after Dallas Mania. So it starts on Monday, the 24th, and I will teach every day live for an hour at least every single day. And that's totally free, and it ends on Friday. So it's the 24th to the 28th. Go there and register for that. And I think that's all I've got for you. I'm checking my notes here. We've talked about Dallas a whole bunch. scwfit.com/Dallas. You guys, I did want to mention one other thing. I mentioned a while back that I was going to open up registration for my restorative yoga to the group, in case you are looking to get a little bit of stretching and strengthening and yin yoga in your life. And you can register for that at fitprosconnect.com/yoga. So I'm not going to say too much about that. I'm not trying to sell fitness to fitness professionals, but if you need some yoga and you want to do yoga with me, it's out there. Okay. So, and with
thank you,
that,
Kelly.
Thank you so much. So good having you. And I will definitely talk to you again soon.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Thank you.
Mwah.
Mwah.